My beloved child, I invite you to pause and listen closely, for my heart is longing to speak directly to yours, and I yearn for you to recognize how deeply I care for you. Even as you wake each morning and sense the weight of your concerns, remember that I am right here, walking beside you, upholding you with my gentle hands, and shielding you from unseen dangers. Open your heart to me and feel my presence seeping into the very core of your being, for I am not distant or oblivious to your struggles. Instead, I am actively watching over every breath you take, ensuring that you will not stumble beyond what you can bear. Know that you are cherished far more than fleeting treasures, because my love for you cannot be measured, and my devotion is unwavering in every season. So lift your eyes and take courage, for I promise that, no matter how strong the winds of trouble blow, my peace is ready to envelop your soul, and my grace will see you through each trial, today and all the days to come. My precious one, before you were formed in the secret place, I already had a plan for your life, carefully shaping a future that overflows with goodness and hope. There is nothing random about your journey, no detail too insignificant for my concern, and no tear you shed that goes unnoticed by me. In your moments of confusion, when the path ahead looks dark and treacherous, I whisper into your spirit, reminding you that I hold every solution and I am never at a loss. You are never alone, for I am always with you, enveloping you in my infinite love. Rest in that truth, and let your heart find refuge in my unfailing care. In my eyes, you shine like a radiant jewel, uniquely crafted and irreplaceable, reflecting aspects of my character in ways only you can. I take joy in your smile, in your thoughtful deeds, and in every heartfelt prayer, for your presence matters to me beyond anything you might imagine. When burdens press down on you, crushing your spirit, I urge you to come and lay them before my feet, because I do not want you to carry those weights alone. I am more than willing to share your sorrows and lighten your load, wiping away the tears that dampen your soul. Trust that I have chosen you for a divine purpose, one that only you can fulfill in this vast tapestry of creation. Be assured, dear one, that I see not just your outward actions, but also the intentions of your heart, and I recognize the quiet goodness that sometimes goes unnoticed by others. When the world seems indifferent, when people misunderstand your motives, remember that I perceive the truth, and I celebrate every sincere moment of kindness you extend. I delight in you as a gardener delights in a flourishing garden, carefully watering each plant, pruning away the withered parts, and nurturing every bud until it blossoms in all its fullness. This is how I handle your growth, how I protect you from harm, and how I continually guide you toward the wholeness I have promised. Do not be disheartened. Cling to me and see how I bring forth new life from the driest soil in your heart. Let me remind you that your worth is not dependent on human standards or accolades, for I have inscribed your name on the palm of my hand, where no power in heaven or on earth can erase it. Even when you feel insufficient, or when you compare yourself to others and see what seems like 1,000 shortcomings, I want you to pause and remember my perspective. I crafted every part of you with intentionality, forming you as a masterpiece made in my image. So do not belittle yourself or succumb to fear that you will never measure up, because in my realm, your value is non-negotiable and your potential is boundless. Continue to hold your head high, for I am with you, guiding every step as you uncover the grandeur of your calling. I see the nights when sleep eludes you, when worries cloud your mind about finances, relationships, and the uncertainty of tomorrow. I am there in the silence, as your tears slip onto the pillow, and in that stillness, my voice gently calls, "Come to me and lay down your burdens, for I have the power to calm the storms raging inside you." Even in the darkest midnight, my presence illuminates the way, guiding you toward the promise of a new dawn. You do not need to hold yourself upright by sheer will, because my strength is made perfect in your weakness. Trust that with every battle you face, I stand at your side as a steadfast companion, ensuring that all things work together for the best in the end. When challenges come like waves threatening to engulf you, remember that I spoke to the raging sea and it became still. I do the same with every tumultuous situation in your life, for I am your eternal anchor who never drifts away in the midst of trouble. Though you may feel surrounded by chaos, I urge you not to fear, for I have promised, I will never leave you nor forsake you. Let those words echo in your heart, a constant reminder that every trial you face is an opportunity for my power to be revealed more clearly. Do not fear your enemies. Instead, come to me, for I am your fortress, and within my walls, no harm can truly conquer you. You might question how I can remain so patient with all your imperfections and repeated mistakes. My child, my love is not based on your performance, but on my unchanging character. In the same way that a father runs to embrace his long-lost child, I stand with arms wide open, ready to restore you whenever you wander away. Do not allow shame to keep you from approaching me, for I already know every misstep you have taken, and my forgiveness overflows for those who humble themselves before me. Let your heart be free from condemnation, and come taste the sweetness of my grace that washes over every failure. Allow me to protect you like a mother eagle shelters her brood beneath her wings, covering them from the harshness of the elements and the threat of predators. In life, storms may rage, the wind may howl, and the lightning may split the sky with ferocity. But beneath my wings, you are secure. Although life's trials can test your faith and shake your soul, they will never destroy you when you hide yourself in my presence. You are not a solitary wanderer exposed to the cruelty of this world. You are a precious treasure, held safe by the Maker of heaven and earth. Breathe freely, for I am vigilant, and nothing escapes my sight or my power. My cherished one, when your heart aches with longing for love and acceptance, or when loneliness seems like a deep chasm, come into the circle of my embrace. I am aware that human relationships sometimes falter, and even the most well-intentioned friends can disappoint you. In such moments, I stand ready to shower you with a love that asks for nothing in return, a love that remains steadfast through every betrayal or heartbreak. Let the well springs of my compassion fill the void that the world cannot satisfy, for in my hands your deepest yearnings find rest. I do not merely offer fleeting affection, I pour out an eternal love that surpasses all understanding. I understand that at times you feel as though you are wandering in a desert, searching frantically for meaning, direction, or a sense of belonging. Remember how I led my people through the wilderness with a pillar of cloud by day and fire by night, never abandoning them to their own confusion. I will do the same for you, guiding you through the unknown, providing water in parched lands, and making a way in the seemingly impossible. Let your hope rise at the thought that I am orchestrating every step, every season, and every trial to shape you into the person I envision. Your desert journey is not in vain. It is merely part of my larger story in which redemption always has the final word. Know that I am intimately acquainted with your weaknesses, and my love does not waver when you stumble. Instead, it invites you to reach out for my hand so I can steady you. Think of how a shepherd gently rescues a lamb caught in thorns or lost among rocky paths. So do I come for you whenever you are ensnared by the brambles of guilt, regret, or despair. I do not shame you. Rather, I lift you from the pit, place you on my shoulders, and carry you back to safety. Here in my arms, nothing can snatch you away, for my grip is firm and my heart is set on your restoration. Allow my words of life to saturate your spirit and energize you for the journey ahead. Take courage, for I am your shield against the arrows of discouragement and the subtle lies that whisper you are unworthy or unloved. Remember the truth. You have been set apart, named and cherished, a vessel I have chosen for good works. Whenever discouragement threatens to trap you in a cycle of hopelessness, fix your eyes on me. Let my promises be the lamp that illuminates your path, dispelling the gloom that tries to overwhelm you. The battles may be fierce, but you have an ally who commands the host of angels, who parted the Red Sea and who breathed life into existence. With me on your side, there is no mountain too high to climb, nor any valley too dark to traverse. When confusion overshadows your thoughts and anxiety threatens to rob you of peace, run into my presence. I am the God who imparts peace that surpasses human understanding, a calmness that remains unshaken by outward storms. The moment you call on my name in prayer, I draw near to you, listening intently with a father's compassionate ear, ready to comfort you and reassure you of my faithfulness. You do not need polished words or elaborate ceremonies. Simply speak from your heart, for I comprehend the language of sighs and tears as easily as spoken words. Do not fear that you are too insignificant for my concern, for every beat of your heart is precious to me, and every anxious thought is something I long to soothe. Beloved, I want you to trust that my plans for you are for prosperity, not disaster, to give you a hopeful end and a future brimming with possibilities. Even though your present circumstances might whisper otherwise, keep your faith anchored in my unchanging word. Trust that I see the panorama of your life from beginning to end, orchestrating details in ways you cannot comprehend. When doors slam shut, do not despair. I may be safeguarding you from paths that would only bring harm or hinder your growth. Just as a gardener prunes a fruitful vine to yield an even greater harvest, I, in my wisdom, remove what is detrimental in order to usher you into greater abundance. Hold on to hope, because I am faithfully working behind the scenes, aligning circumstances for the fullness of your destiny. I understand how weariness can creep into your bones when you feel you have done all you can, yet see no immediate results. Remember, there is a season for every purpose, and though the harvest might be delayed, it will surely come when the timing is perfect. In your moments of exhaustion, cling to me, for I can infuse you with my strength that transcends human limitations. I am never tired of renewing you, never weary of supporting you through your smallest or greatest endeavors. Look not at the hopelessness of the ground before you, but at my limitless power. When you see with the eyes of faith, you will discover that the seeds you sow in tears will soon sprout into blessings beyond your imagination. Treasure this truth. No matter how far you stray, no matter how deeply you feel you have disappointed yourself or those around you, I am here to welcome you home. If you have turned away, if you have questioned my presence, know that my arms remain open wide, ever ready to embrace your return. Do not allow the voices of condemnation to convince you that you have gone too far or sunk too low. In my realm, mercy triumphs over judgment. I am the God who leaves the 99 to find the one lost sheep. I am the one who scans the horizon daily for the silhouette of the prodigal son. If you would only turn your heart toward me, you would find a celebration waiting for you, with a robe of restoration and a ring of belonging placed on your hand. My child, take comfort in knowing that your prayers never fall on deaf ears. Even when the answers seem delayed, I am constantly at work, orchestrating countless variables so that my perfect will unfolds at the right time. Your faith in the waiting seasons matters deeply to me because it cultivates perseverance, trust, and a deeper intimacy with my heart. Think about the way seeds lie dormant under the ground until the appointed season arrives for them to burst forth in life. In the same way, your prayers may feel hidden, but they are not forgotten. Be patient, stand steadfast, and watch as I align the circumstances to bring forth fruit that will last. Set your heart on what is eternal, rather than being consumed by fleeting distractions and pleasures that dissolve like mist. Seek after me, for I am the wellspring of living waters, the only source that can truly quench your soul's thirst for purpose and meaning. In a world clamoring for attention and offering countless empty solutions, remember my invitation. Come, all you who are weary, and I will give you rest. Do not hesitate, do not linger in doubt. Just draw near to me, and let my love envelop every part of your life. As you taste and see my goodness, you will realize that a single moment in my presence outweighs a lifetime spent chasing lesser pursuits. Let your eyes be fixed on that which truly satisfies, my love, my truth, and my promise that endure forever. Whenever you are tempted to give up, consider how I have carried you through past struggles, how I have brought you from deserts into places of refreshing, and how I have continually turned mourning into dancing. My child, I have already proven my faithfulness, yet I delight in showing it time and time again, revealing deeper layers of my compassion with each trial you face. I am the same God who blessed Abraham beyond his wildest dreams, who parted seas for Moses, who gave David strength to slay Goliath, and who watched over Ruth, turning her losses into a redemptive story. Do not forget that the same power and love which guided them is available to you now. Lift your gaze above the waves, for I remain the unwavering anchor of your soul. I know there are moments when life's chaos seems to drown out my voice, leaving you disoriented and unsure of which path to follow. In these times, I urge you to quiet your soul, to carve out moments of stillness, and to tune your heart to my gentle whisper. You do not need to chase signs and wonders at every turn. Simply trust that I speak through my word, through that still, small voice within you, and through the confirming peace I place in your spirit. Let my counsel be your guiding star, steadying your steps even when you cannot see beyond the horizon. By yielding your plans to me, you allow my wisdom to shape your path in ways far surpassing human insight. Recall how I tend to even the sparrows, ensuring they lack nothing they need. You, who bear my image, are worth immeasurably more than those small birds. I am fully aware of your financial stresses, your healthcare worries, and the anxious thoughts about the well-being of those you love. Even if you cannot see solutions, hold on to the promise that I have them. Rest in my sovereignty, knowing that if I feed the birds of the air and dress the lilies of the field with exquisite beauty, I will certainly take care of you. Let anxiety flee at the knowledge that my resources are infinite, and my plan for your provision stands firm. Let me remind you of the power of forgiveness, both received and given. Harboring resentment or guilt is like carrying a heavy load on a journey already challenging enough. I call you to release the burdens of anger and bitterness, trusting that my justice and my grace are sufficient for every situation. Forgive as you have been forgiven, and in doing so, you open the floodgates of healing and restoration in your life. Do not fear that forgiveness is a sign of weakness. On the contrary, it is a reflection of my divine love at work in your heart, a source of miraculous breakthroughs that heal relationships and mend shattered spirits. You often forget the authority I have delegated to you when you stand in faith. Speak life through your words and pray believing for miracles. I have placed the breath of my spirit within you, empowering you to conquer obstacles and resist the darkness that tries to overshadow your path. You do not stand powerless, like a leaf tossed about by the wind. Remember the promises. If you speak to the mountain, believing without doubt, it shall be moved. Trust in my power, abide in my presence, and watch how even the mightiest opposition will crumble in the face of unwavering faith. Let each triumph remind you that you are far from insignificant. You are my beloved child, granted authority in my name. Take heed, though, that this authority is never to be used to control or harm others, but rather to bring love, peace, and restoration wherever you tread. As I once spoke through the prophets, I now speak through you, calling you to be a beacon of my kindness to those who feel isolated or rejected. There are individuals around you whose hearts ache for compassion, for a listening ear, and for a gentle touch that reminds them of their inherent worth. Do not miss the chance to reflect my heart in your daily encounters. Whenever you extend a hand of mercy, remember that you do so in my stead, acting as the vessel through which my love flows freely into a hurting world. In each act of kindness, you proclaim hope and my abiding presence. Remember that I am your refuge in every storm, a safe harbor when life's gales threaten to capsize your hope. In the hours when shadows loom large and when your spirit trembles under the weight of unknown tomorrows, run into my arms. Picture yourself leaning against my chest, hearing the steady rhythm of my heartbeat that never fails or falters. Let that rhythmic assurance calm your anxieties and strengthen your resolve. I am not merely an observer of your trials. I am your most steadfast ally, your counselor, and your friend who wields all authority in heaven and on earth. Stay anchored in me, for no wave will ever be large enough to knock you from my grasp. My child, do not despair if the answers you seek do not appear in the manner or timing you anticipate. My ways are higher than your ways, and my perspective encompasses the entire tapestry of history and eternity. Like a master weaver, I am threading together events that will ultimately reveal my glory and your good, even when a particular strand seems tangled or out of place. If you trust me in the silent times, you will see that in my hands all things are woven into a pattern of beauty. Place your expectations in my care, letting me surprise you with grace and solutions far beyond your imagination. Keep your heart soft toward me, for a surrendered spirit is the gateway to miracles. Set your sights on eternity, dear one, for life is more than fleeting achievements or momentary gratifications. Every choice you make, every word you speak, and every seed you plant in love resonates into forever, storing treasures in a realm where moth and rust cannot destroy. Let your ambition be shaped by the desire to please my heart rather than chasing hollow accolades or the fleeting praise of people. In doing so, you will taste a joy that transcends circumstances, a joy rooted in the knowledge that you walk hand in hand with the one who created the stars and called them by name. Rejoice in this partnership, for you were made to dwell in my love, reflect my light, and share my truth with a world so desperately in need. In seasons of waiting, or in times when discouragement tries to choke out your faith, anchor yourself in Scripture and recall the testimonies of saints who have gone before you. Look at how I delivered Joseph from prison to a position of influence, how I led Esther to courageously save her people, and how I shut the mouths of lions for Daniel. Do not think these miracles are relics of the past. I remain the same yesterday, today, and forever. My power has not diminished, and my willingness to intervene in your life remains strong. Pray with a heart full of expectancy, for I delight in responding to the earnest petitions of my children. Never underestimate the importance of standing firm, even when all appears lost, because often the dawn breaks at the darkest point of night. Do not fear the uncertain roads that unfold before you. Instead, invite me into every decision. Let me be the compass that shows you north, the lamp that lights every step. You need not navigate alone or rely solely on your understanding, which is limited by time and circumstance. I promise that if you acknowledge me in all your ways, I will direct your path, making it straight, even when everything around you appears to twist and turn. Know that, through every bend, my wisdom is available in abundance, and if you simply ask, I will pour it out upon you without reproach. Be still and trust my leading hand, for I will never steer you astray. Though you may feel fragile as clay, remember that I, the potter, am shaping you into a vessel of honor. Every trial, every setback, Every joy and every sorrow serves a purpose in molding your character into something resilient and refined. At times, the shaping process can be painful, but the outcome is a masterpiece. I see hidden potentials in you that you cannot yet fathom, and I am gently, yet persistently, drawing them to the surface. Do not despise the season of shaping. Embrace it, knowing that my intent is always to bring forth my glory through your yielded life. In the end, you will see how the cracks and marks become testimonies of my grace, shining forth my redemption and renewing others who are similarly broken. When you stand at a crossroads, uncertain of which direction to take, I invite you to pause in prayer and wait for my peace to guide you. My peace acts as an umpire in your heart, signaling the path that aligns with my will. If you feel unsettled, be patient, for haste often leads to regrets that could have been avoided by simply listening to my voice. Discern my guidance by staying close to my word. Let it be a lamp unto your feet and a light unto your path. You will find that as you immerse yourself in my truth, confusion begins to fade, replaced by clarity rooted in my eternal perspective. I know that your heart yearns for companionship and a sense of belonging. Allow me to show you that you are fully seen, understood, and loved exactly as you are. You need not wear masks or hide your true self, for I cherish your authenticity, and I formed every part of your being with purpose. Even if you feel out of place among your peers, know that you always have a place at my table where you are celebrated, not merely tolerated. The table I prepare for you is laden with every good thing your spirit craves: love, acceptance, purpose, and the unshakable assurance that you are mine. Come, take your seat, and realize that you have never been alone. Take up courage, for I am your champion in life's battles, and I empower you to stand firm against all forms of darkness. When you feel attacked from every angle, remember that I have given you spiritual armor: truth, righteousness, peace, faith, salvation, and my word. With these, you can quench every flaming arrow of doubt, accusation, or despair. Stand boldly, knowing that while your strength may falter, mine never does. Each victory is not merely your own. It is a testament to my faithful presence and an example to others who need hope for their own struggles. Do not retreat. Advance, covered by my promises, for every battle you face is an opportunity for me to manifest my sovereignty in your life. My beloved, I want you to know that nothing can separate you from my love. No tribulation, no persecution, no power, not even your own self-doubt. This love has been sealed by a covenant that stands unbroken, a vow I made out of the depths of my heart for all eternity. In your greatest failures, this love remains constant, beckoning you to repent and return, ready to wash you clean and set you on solid ground again. In your shining moments of triumph, this love rejoices with you, for I delight in your success and your growth. Rest confidently, assured that you are perpetually held in my embrace, and that my love does not wane or shift like shadows on the wall. Reflect on how intimately I know you. I understand the contours of your thoughts, the nuances of your smile, and the flickers of hope and fear that pass through your soul. I am aware of your every heartbeat, and my care extends beyond your physical needs to the spiritual, emotional, and even hidden aspects of your being. Thus, you never have to hide your true emotions or put on a facade before me. Lay your burdens, your confessions, and your uncertainties at my feet, and see how my mercy abounds. With me, you can be completely transparent, because I have already seen every facet of you, and my response is a resolute, unchanging love. Take a moment to consider the gift of your unique talents and passions. They are not accidents, but seeds I planted within you to fulfill a greater purpose. Whether you excel at painting, teaching, encouraging others, or caring for those in need. These talents represent my fingerprint on your life. When you use these gifts to bless others, you honor me and reflect my creativity into the world. Do not belittle your gifts, thinking them insignificant, nor should you envy the talents of others. I have designed a body of believers where each part has a vital function, and your role is paramount in its own special way. Invest these gifts wisely, and watch as I multiply your impact for my kingdom. Sometimes you look around and see evil prosper, while those who strive to follow my ways endure hardships. Do not be dismayed or tempted to think that unrighteousness goes unpunished, or that righteousness is in vain. I am a just God, and in due time every act is measured and every hidden thing brought to light. Keep your heart pure, stand upon my word, and maintain an eternal perspective that recognizes rewards far surpassing earthly metrics. Time will reveal the enduring value of a life walked hand in hand with me, and though you may face trials, you will not be forsaken. In fact, those who sow in tears often reap the greatest harvest of joy. I encourage you, my child, to cultivate gratitude in your heart. Regardless of your present difficulties, there is always something to thank me for. Breath in your lungs, the warmth of sunshine, the kindness of a friend. Thanksgiving is the key that unlocks joy and ushering you into my presence with a lighter heart. As you shift your focus from what you lack to what you have been given, you will find fresh strength, renewed hope, and a mind more attuned to my blessings. Sing songs of praise even in the midnight hour, and watch how my light pierces the gloom of uncertainty and despair. In gratitude, you will discover a wellspring of resilience that cannot be quenched. Recall that I am near to the brokenhearted and close to those who are crushed in spirit. If you are grieving losses or nursing wounds that seem impossible to mend, allow my healing touch to soothe your pain. I specialize in redemption, turning ashes into beauty, sorrow into a deep well of compassion, and experiences of adversity into stories of triumph. Cry out to me in your distress. Pour out your heart's lament, for I do not shun your tears. Instead, I collect them, precious as they are, and I breathe upon your heart to ignite hope. Believe that as you walk through the valley of grief, my rod and my staff comfort you, and I ultimately lead you to verdant pastures of restoration. Sometimes the guilt of your past might whisper that you are disqualified from my love or my calling. Know that nothing could be further from the truth. I have taken upon myself the weight of your wrongdoing, nailing it to the cross so you might live free from condemnation. If anyone is in me, that individual is a new creation. The old things pass away, and all things become new. This is not a distant concept, but a lived reality for those who trust in my redemptive work. Let go of self-condemnation, receive my forgiveness with both hands, and walk forward with your head held high. No failure is final when my grace is involved, and no story is beyond redemption when entrusted to my hands. My dear one, lift up your prayer like incense before my throne. I welcome it gladly. Pour out your heart openly, sharing your joys, your sorrows, your confusion, and your gratitude. There is no detail too small for my attention, nor is there any challenge too great for my power. Let prayer be your daily conversation with me, a relationship rather than a ritual. Through prayer, you align your heart with mine, learning to see your circumstances through my eyes. As you persist in fellowship with me, you will notice subtle yet profound shifts in your perspective, your attitude, and even the outcomes of situations that once seemed hopeless. Prayer is the spiritual breath that keeps your faith vibrant and alive. Keep in mind the steadfastness of my covenant with you, a promise sealed by the greatest demonstration of love known to humanity. I gave myself so that you might have life and have it abundantly. Think of how a shepherd lays down his life for his sheep. I have done so for you, ensuring that you are never truly lost or forgotten. Let that sacrifice embolden you to live each day with courage and conviction, knowing that love so powerful will not fail to supply whatever you truly need. Stand in awe of a love that moves mountains, parts seas, and moves hearts back to my loving embrace. There will be seasons when I will prune certain attachments or comfort zones from your life. Trust that this pruning, though painful, is always purposeful. Just as a gardener prunes the vines to ensure a more bountiful harvest, so do I remove what hinders your growth in order to bring forth greater fruitfulness in your spiritual walk. You may feel moments of confusion, wondering why certain relationships or opportunities slip away. In these trials, rest assured that my hand is still upon you, guiding you towards something even more life-giving. Embrace this process, for the fruit that emerges after pruning is sweeter, richer, and far more abundant than you might have imagined. Look within your own heart to see if there are areas that need surrender. I gently call you to surrender worry, pride, resentment, and any idol that competes with my rightful place in your life. When you yield these burdens to me, you create room for my spirit to fill you with gifts that produce peace, joy, patience, kindness, and self-control. Surrender is not a loss. It is the pathway to true freedom and a deeper intimacy with me. By letting go of what you think you must control, you allow me to step in with solutions that far exceed human imagination. Through surrender, you learn the blessedness of dependence on an all-sufficient God. Remember that hope is never in vain when it is placed in me. I see your future laid out in glorious detail. Therefore, I invite you to dream, to take courageous steps of faith, and to believe in possibilities beyond what your natural eyes perceive. Even when you experience disappointment, keep holding on to my promises, for I am crafting something beautiful in the hidden places of your life. In time, those hidden things will emerge, radiating my glory in ways you could not have planned for yourself. I love to surprise my children with blessings that affirm my love, so stay expectant, keep your heart open, and watch how I bring light into even the dimmest corners of your life. I call upon you to be a conduit of my love, not merely a recipient. As you have been comforted, so comfort others. As you have been forgiven, so extend forgiveness to those around you. In doing so, you reflect my character in a world hungry for genuine compassion. Be a beacon of light in the darkness, offering hope, hospitality, and unconditional love to those who feel abandoned. Remember that every small act done in my name resonates through eternity, contributing to the tapestry of redemption I weave across the ages. You are not alone in this mission. My spirit empowers you, my presence accompanies you, and my word instructs you in the way you should go. Let these words sink deeply. I rejoice every time you draw near to me. Your presence and your prayers do not merely fulfill a religious requirement. They bring joy to my heart, like a sweet aroma rising to the heavens. I delight in the honest, unfiltered moments you share with me, whether they are moments of praise, petition, or even questioning. You are not an inconvenience or an afterthought. You are my beloved child, and my arms remain open day and night. Let the knowledge of my joy in you spark a deeper yearning to abide in my love, for in my presence there is fullness of joy, and in walking with me, life's greatest meaning is found. Consider how the currents of life may try to sweep you away from the place of divine intimacy. I urge you to stand firm, making space in your daily routine for communion with me. Just as you need physical nourishment, so does your spirit crave the nourishment of my word, prayer, and worship. Guard that time zealously, for it is the wellspring of vitality and purpose. The world's noise is loud, aiming to drown out my voice, but you can cultivate a sanctuary in your heart by meditating on my promises. In that sanctuary, You will hear my whispers of guidance, comfort, and love, strengthening you to face each day's challenges with renewed hope. When it seems like everything around you is crumbling, remember that I am the rock on which you stand. Empires rise and fall, technology evolves, and relationships shift. But my word remains steadfast through all generations. Build your life on this unshakable foundation so that when the rains pour, the floods swell, and the winds howl, you will remain standing, anchored by my truth. This solidity is not an illusion. It is the reality of my eternal kingdom, which cannot be moved. By standing on my promises, you testify that my grace surpasses any adversity, and your faith becomes a lighthouse, guiding others to the safety found in me. Know that your tears are not a sign of weakness. Even my own son wept at the sorrow he witnessed in the world. I see every tear that falls from your eyes, and I hold each one with compassion, ready to transform your mourning into joy at the appointed time. Grief is a process, and I am patient with you as you walk through it. Take each step of healing at the pace you can manage, confident that my presence remains steadfast and my heart is moved with empathy toward your suffering. Do not rush yourself or hide your tears. Bring them to me, for I am close to the brokenhearted, and I heal their wounds in ways they cannot heal themselves. In your quest to understand life's mysteries, be aware that I do not reveal everything at once. There are mysteries reserved for my sovereignty, and in such matters, I ask you to trust, even when logic fails. Faith blossoms in the fertile ground of the unknown, where human control ends and reliance on my guidance begins. Seek wisdom diligently, search Scripture, and ask for my enlightenment, but also learn to rest in the truth that I hold the universe in my hands. If you rest in that truth, you will experience a peace that transcends every unanswered question. You will also discover that my revelations come precisely when you need them, illuminating your path step by step, like a dawn slowly breaking over the horizon. Every morning you awaken is another demonstration of my mercy and grace. The mere act of breathing is a gift, a reminder that you still have a purpose to fulfill in this lifetime. Make each day an opportunity to grow closer to me, to love others more deeply, and to reflect my character in tangible ways. You do not walk by happenstance. I have charted your course, even as I allow you the freedom to choose the paths you tread. Walk wisely, but never doubt that I can redirect you if you stumble or take a wrong turn. My grace is an ever-present safety net, catching you when you fall, yet inspiring you to stand again, wiser and stronger. Dare to dream with me. Dare to imagine a world where my peace floods every corner, where kindness and compassion thrive, and where justice rolls down like waters. Though you see brokenness, betrayal, and suffering, I am not absent. I invite you to partner with me in prayer, in service, and in acts of genuine love that chip away at the darkness. When you extend grace, you echo my voice in a world craving redemption. While you cannot single-handedly fix every issue, each act of love you perform acts like a candle in the night, spreading light further than you realize. Do not underestimate how one small flame can ignite others, resulting in a beacon of hope that touches many lives. Think about children, how they trust with innocence and believe wholeheartedly without skepticism. I call you to embrace a childlike faith, not as a dismissal of wisdom, but as an acknowledgement of who I am, a loving Father who desires good things for his children. Release the cynicism that the world tries to instill in you, and receive the simplicity of trusting my heart. True faith is not naive. It is powerful because it is anchored in my unchanging goodness. When you pray, believe that my ability to respond is greater than the magnitude of your problem. Let your heart be light in my presence, freed from the chains of worry, so you can experience the fullness of my joy. I see the desire within you to improve yourself, to overcome bad habits, and to shape a life that honors me. Know that real transformation begins not with willpower alone, but with my spirit working in tandem with your willing heart. Surrender your limitations to me, and I will empower you to break free from destructive patterns, replacing them with virtues that mirror my holiness. This process may be gradual, and sometimes you might slip, but do not lose heart. Progress, not perfection, is the journey, and my grace undergirds every step. When you stumble, I am there, lifting you up, cheering you on, and reminding you of the freedom you have in my name. Even in seasons of abundant blessings, do not let comfort lull you into forgetfulness. Prosperity can sometimes be more dangerous than adversity, for it tempts you to rely on your own strength. In times of plenty, remain steadfast in gratitude and generosity, recognizing that every good gift comes from my hand. Share what you have, for such acts reflect my love and provision to the world. Remember how I fed the multitudes with just a few loaves and fishes. Your resources, small though they may seem, can become overflowing miracles when entrusted to me. Keep your heart aligned with humility and dependence, whether you stand on the mountaintop of success or walk through the valley of trial. Walk in the light, because you are a child of the light. Do not be ashamed to let your faith shine in your words, deeds, and attitudes. The world needs beacons who refuse to conform to darkness. Let your speech be filled with kindness and truth, pointing others toward the hope I offer. Be mindful of the influence you carry, at work, within your family, in casual interactions, for you never know how a single gesture or phrase might spark a transformation in someone's heart. Shine brightly, not with self-righteousness, but with the humble acknowledgement that I am the source of all that is good in you. In this humble shining, you honor me and bring a glimpse of heaven to earth. Whenever self-doubt tries to overshadow you, recall how I chose the unlikely heroes throughout history. Moses stammered, David was the youngest shepherd boy, Gideon doubted his own strength, and yet I used them mightily for my purposes. You may feel unqualified or inadequate, but that is precisely the soil in which my power grows. I do not look for those who boast of their own abilities. I look for hearts willing to trust in my sufficiency. So step forward with courage, not in arrogance, but in faith, believing that my grace will cover your weaknesses and my power will shine through your humility. Let the story of your life be a testament to what I can do with a surrendered soul. As you mature in faith, be cautious about becoming judgmental or prideful. My call is for you to love one another deeply, for love covers a multitude of sins and brings healing where condemnation only deepens wounds. Speak truth, yes, but always in love, always looking to restore rather than tear down. Do not forget that you, too, have needed compassion and mercy at various points along your journey. Keep a tender heart, mindful that every individual you encounter is also created in my image and carries a story of struggles and victories. Let your interactions be seasoned with the grace that I continually show you, so that others might glimpse my heart through you. Hold on to the security of my promises when you face temptation. The enemy will try to lure you with temporary pleasures or illusions of power, but these are fleeting mirages that lead to emptiness. I offer a joy that endures, a peace that remains stable in chaos, and a satisfaction that transcends worldly cravings. Armor yourself with my word, wield it as a sword that cuts through the lies. When you feel weak in the face of temptation, call on me, and I will rush to your aid. Remember that victory is not achieved by your own might, but by my Spirit actively working through your obedience. Draw close to me in worship, offering not just the melody of your voice, but the devotion of your heart. Worship is your spirit's response to my unsearchable greatness, a sacred exchange where you lay down your burdens and find rest in my sovereignty. Do not wait for perfect circumstances to worship. Praise me in the valley, praise me on the mountaintop. Praise me in the uncertainty of the in-between. As you lift your heart in worship, your perspective shifts and the weight of worry begins to lift. Let your praises ascend like incense, filling the heavens with a sweet aroma, and in return, feel my comforting presence envelop you like a soft mantle of peace. I remind you again, my beloved, that I am your steadfast refuge and strong tower. In my presence you are shielded from the arrows of condemnation and the schemes of the adversary. When life's demands overwhelm you, retreat into the sanctuary of my embrace. Let me heal your wounds, infuse you with courage, and remind you of your true identity as my beloved child. This is the place where miracles are birthed, not always in thunder and lightning, but often in the quiet turning of your heart toward mine as you yield your will and trust me to do what you cannot. In that silent surrender, you become more than a conqueror. Rest assured, I see the hidden sacrifices you make daily, the kindness you extend when no one is watching, the battles you fight silently in your soul. These moments are precious to me, and I bless you for the seeds of faith, hope, and love you sow in private. Nothing escapes my notice, and I promise that your labor in love will yield a harvest, some now and some in eternity. Therefore, do not grow weary in doing good, for in due season you will reap if you do not give up. Find renewed vigor in the knowledge that I stand with you, and together we will see fruit that glorifies my name and nourishes your spirit. Lift your perspective above the clouds of worry and see how I consistently remain in control. Though storms rage, countries clash, and uncertainty looms in the media, my throne is unshaken. I encourage you to pray for those in authority, to act with wisdom and compassion in your own sphere of influence, but ultimately to trust that my plan will not be thwarted. Know that your times are in my hands, and no power can snatch you away from the divine destiny I have set for you. Take heart then, and do not let fear reign in your mind. Keep your heart steadfast in the knowledge that the King of Kings is not taken by surprise. I call you to walk in unity with fellow believers, letting love and humility bridge the gaps of differences in opinion or background. There is great power when my children come together in harmony, each bringing unique gifts and perspectives under the banner of my love. Resist the spirit of division and choose to be a peacemaker, affirming the worth of others and showing them respect. In so doing, you reflect the unity within the Trinity itself, a perfect bond of love and purpose. Aspire to build each other up, knowing that unity commands my blessing, and through your unity, a watching world will see the reality of my grace. Understand that the spiritual realm is real, and there are battles you do not see with physical eyes. I encourage you to remain vigilant, to pray in all seasons, and to keep your spiritual armor securely in place. Yet, do not let this reality fill you with dread, for my victory is certain, and I equip you with every resource needed to stand firm. Lean on my power, not your own, and remember that my name causes darkness to tremble. When you sense the intensity of spiritual warfare, speak my truth boldly, and hold on to the promises that nothing, not angels or demons or any other power, can separate you from my love. Be confident in that love, for it is your greatest weapon. As we reach a juncture in this conversation, I want to refocus your heart on my inexhaustible love for you, a love that is unbreakable and unrelenting. No trial, no sin, no force in the universe can diminish it. Rest in the assurance that I have gone to the greatest lengths to demonstrate this love, bearing burdens that were not my own, suffering rejection and pain so that you could be free. This is the eternal covenant. I am yours, and you are mine. Let this truth be your anchor in life's storms, your comfort in sorrow, and your song of rejoicing when dawn finally breaks. Now I stretch my hand over you, speaking life into every place where hope seems dim. Receive my blessing as a living reality, filling your mind with peace and your heart with confidence that I am working all things for your good. I bless your relationships, praying they become vessels for my grace. I bless your endeavors, desiring they prosper in alignment with my will. I bless your body, that it may experience health and healing. My promise stands firm. You will see my goodness in the land of the living, and my favor will rest upon you and your household. Take these words to heart and move forward with a spirit unburdened by fear or regret. Carry this conclusion like a lamp lighting your way. My love for you will never fade, and my hand is outstretched, ready to guide you into the remarkable future I have prepared. Stand tall in your faith, keep your gaze fixed on the horizon of my promises, and remember that I am steadfast in every season. Breathe deeply of my peace, for I have given it to you freely, and it surpasses human comprehension. Trust that as you continue walking in my light, greater blessings await around each bend in the road. Yes, the best is yet to come, for my mercies are new every morning, and my faithfulness endures from generation to generation. Now go, beloved child, wrapped in my assurance, and let hope flourish in your heart until we speak again.